What's going on, guys? I am Toxic Jordan. Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be doing a little chain battle prep guide kind of thing. So I decided that I want to start doing these for every new chain battle that gets released. I think a big part of the reason why a lot of people struggle with chain battle is because they don't prepare their accounts for the upcoming chain battles. So then when they actually release and they haven't done anything yet to, to get ready for it, then it's kind of too little too late, and you end up suffering a lot from that. So, there was a new chain battle that's been announced on JP. So we are going to be taking a look at this now. That way, for the few JP players that do watch me, you'll be ready for the chain battle coming up in just a couple days here now, actually. 5 days from the time I'm recording this video. And then, obviously for global players, you can take this time to kind of get ahead of the game, because eventually this chain battle will come to global as well. So we will need to have all the same characters prepared and ready to go. So yeah, let's go ahead and switch over to Twitter here. We thank Misaka, as always, for the wonderful chain battle guides that are put out. So we've got the newest one here. So as we can see, it's going to be a bunch of base form Gokus and Kaioken Gokus for the super class side of things, and then a bunch of Turleses for the extreme class side. I am not sure how this chain battle is going to go, to be honest. I think the super side of things is going to be super easy, because there's a bunch of very easily obtainable units in here, and quite a few free-to-play units even. So we will be going into greater detail about how you can get all of these in just a minute here. But I think for the extreme side, this is going to be a much bigger problem. I think that people's extreme lineups on this one are going to be really, really bad. So what that means is yours doesn't have to be that good for it to get noticed. So it is definitely worthwhile for you to try and get as many of these, cards ready to go as you can. Okay, I think this will sufficiently show you how I kind of set up my box for chain battle and such. So what I do is I actually have a tag in my box that I use just for chain battle characters, pretty much. And then anytime there is a new chain battle, I open up my little guide here, and then basically you just go through all of the units, starting at the best one in the S tier. And then, you pick any of the units out of your box that you have in S tier, and then you move down to A tier, move down to B tier, and C tier, and so on, until you have collected a total of 10 units that are available to you in your box. Now, you can always count on any of the free-to-play characters in here. You can always just go grind up if you don't already have them available to you, right? So that is one of the big things about this, why it is so good here, because if you take a look at all of these physical Gokus that we've got, all of these physical Gokus in here, pretty much, except for these ones at the bottom, are actually, They are actually free-to-play. So, yeah, we're gonna have a pretty easy time, getting 10 units out of this pool for sure. And then, as you can see here in my game, I have plenty of the, let's just sort by super class. So I have plenty of, of these Gokus ready to go, including version Z Goku. We have the LR, TUR, and SSR for this character, which I definitely recommend going and grinding up. That he's like one of the easiest obtained units in the game, because he drops as a TUR. So if you want to farm up the TUR copy and the SSR copy for him, all you have to do is go get 28 copies of the card from the stage, and then you're done. Because you don't have to farm any medals or anything. You can just, 14 copies for the TUR, 14 copies for the SSR, and then rainbow them, and then reverse the SSR, and then you're good to go. That's it. So you just need one hourglass. That's the only medal you need. Which is not hard to obtain. So then we also have the Butoden pixel character Goku. So yeah, the farming up the SSR for him could be good as well. Now you are going to have to go into the Portal of Memories in order to farm this one up, because obviously his event is not around right now. But definitely still an obtainable unit that you could go get if you have the keys for him. Same deal here with this Goku. I believe his event is not live either. So you would have to go and, into the Portal of Memories to farm him up too. But yeah, basically like half of this is free to play. And then the rest of these are just a few of the summonable characters that I've got around. But yeah, so these are my 10. I've got these units all ready to go. already, but that's just lucky because I've grinded all this stuff in the past. So I didn't actually have to grind up any units for this. But then we go ahead and take a look at the extreme side of things, and, we're counting through the Turleses. So this is all I have in my box for any of the Turles units that are on here, right? And I think that this is going to be very common. If you were to go and do the same thing with your units right now, you would probably find that you're not even able to give yourself 10 units out of what we have right here. So the reason for that is because, obviously the chain battles that release are usually themed toward whatever the celebration is, currently on JP when the chain battle releases. That way you can use all of the brand new cards in that celebration on that chain battle. So, and then obviously on global, we don't have the new Turles cards yet. And that does account for a few of the different cards on here. Because as you can see, we have the new physical Dokkan Fest Turles, and then his SSR is also a very viable character here. And then we've also got the 2 banner units that came out alongside him. So there's 4 units here that we do not have yet on global. And then on top of that, there's also the SR free-to-play Turles that gets his Awakening. So he's actually getting an SSR Awakening and a TUR Awakening. So there's literally 2 more free-to-play Turles cards right here that can be used on JP that we won't have on global. So that's why I am sitting here at 7 out of 10, because I am assuming that my, copies 8, 9, and 10 of Turles are going to be the new Dokkan Fest, and then the 2 versions of the free-to-play card that will come out. So now, there is this interesting phenomenon that can happen sometimes to global. It has happened before, which is kind of annoying, is if we end up getting a chain battle that was designed for a specific celebration, but we accidentally end up getting that chain battle released before that celebration comes. So for instance, it's very, very possible that on global, we end up getting this chain battle before the Dokkan Fest Turles is actually released to us. Some shenanigans could happen because of the anniversary and the worldwide download celebration that are going to get in the way of those celebrations and essentially push the Turles celebration back months compared to where it came out on JP. So there's a very real possibility that we could end up getting this chain battle and we haven't yet gotten the Turles. So if that ends up happening, that is going to suck for global players a lot. Because, then we won't have this free-to-play Turles most likely, and then we definitely won't have the Dokkan Fest Turles to help us with our lineups here. So yeah, crazier things have happened, but for those reasons, it's definitely important to go grind up all these characters. Now I have pretty much super attack 10'd all of them. I believe this guy's just 9 out of 10. So maybe I'll jump into the Portal of Memories and go grab, like an SR copy of this guy so that I can max out his SA. And then I think I have a few of these characters to link level as well. Now remember that link leveling doesn't actually affect anything in Chain Battle because you're not using links, right? The specific links that the character has make a difference, obviously, because they are counting those things, right? But they're not really considering whether they're at link level 1 or link level 10. That doesn't make any difference for the game mode. I just personally like to have the units done, because if I'm going to put potential orbs into them and I'm going to potentially spend Kais to get them to SA10 and stuff, then I'd also want them to be units that are fully maxed out in link level 10. I might as well. That way it's never a unit that I have to go back and look at again in my box. It can just sit and be fully finished. So that is just a personal thing for me. But you definitely do want to get your units to SA10 because that will allow you to rainbow them, right? If you have a unit that is not fully SA10, then you're not going to be able to fully max out their hidden potential. But obviously you do want to do that because it'll raise the stats of your characters the most. You want all of these characters to have, the maximum amount of stats that they can possibly have. Now, with that being said, you also want to make sure to add equipment to them. So let's actually go do this right now. This is a unit. This is a good example of a unit we can go and do this with. So, because you want their stats to be as high as possible, you're going to want to make sure to add stat boosting equipment to all of these characters as well. So, obviously attack stacking is the best. So if you have, for instance, this is the best possible skill orb that I could put on this guy, because I'm going to be giving myself 600 plus on my attack stat, which is going to help out in Chain Battle, like, immensely, right? So we'll go ahead and do it. Let's throw this on this character here. And then now, if you're thinking of like, oh, let's throw, like this on him too, to give him some extra power, this isn't going to make a single difference for Chain Battle, because they're not factoring in crit chance. They're not factoring in additional chance or anything like that, right? Just the pure raw stats of the character. So now, if we're talking about a main attacker character, so for instance, who's the best main attacker that we have here? I guess it's version Z Goku. Let's go find him. So we've got version Z Goku here. Perfect. Okay, so he would be an example of a unit that you could actually make an exception for. The equipment that you give him is going to make a huge difference, you know, regardless of what we have. In fact, I am going to change out a lot of his equipment. So I think the level 5, we'll give him a level 5 attack here so that he's hitting as hard as possible. Yeah, it's unfortunate I don't have a level 6 attack for physical. So we'll do that. And then actually crit chance I don't think is going to make a difference for chain battle. I'm pretty sure that we won't need crit chance. The best thing that we can do here is super attack boost, because that's going to make his super attack actually hit harder. And then again, additional doesn't matter either. So really it's just super attack boost that's the biggest thing here. Or also then stat boosting, right? Because if we were doing something that was just boosting like one of his physical stats, the same way that like the bronze skill orb does, then, you know, obviously that would be good to put on here too. So let's go ahead and try a super attack boost. I want a level 5 for it. Okay, perfect. This will be fine. We'll do that. And then we could also do super attack boosting for the gold skill orb, but let's see if there's any stat boosting ones in here. Oh, I think it's... Oh, it's actually a little buggy the way it works. So it's not showing... Okay, so like, look, if I select attack skill, it shows that there's none in here, right? But that is actually not fully accurate, because if we go down here, I believe I can find some. Let me see. Okay, yeah, like these ones. There are these combo skill orbs that do actually boost your stats. That is giving you attack level 1. So it's 300 plus attack right here on this skill orb. So it's actually not accurate. It's a little bit buggy the way those filters work. So yeah, we'll go ahead and... Well, I don't want to put crit on him is the thing. So unless there's a way for me to add attack boost and like super attack boost, I don't think that that's a thing. Yeah, so I think we will just stick with the super attack boost. That'll be the best way to do this. And then, again, we'll try and find, like, a level 5. Maybe this one? Super attack boost level 5. Perfect. Wow, and that's a level 4 for that, too. That is a pretty good skill orb. Okay, so this is a good example of a skill orb set that you'd want to put for a main attacker unit. But then all of these other units that are going to be friend supporters and connectors and stuff, you'll just want to make sure that the equipment you're giving them is, you know, is only stat boosting. That is the main thing. So we'll go ahead and give him a level 5 attack. In fact, because this is an SSR character that I'm never going to use in a real battle, I don't want to waste an attack skill orb on him. So we'll go ahead and go down to like the next best thing. In fact, I have 22 of these level 5 healths, so I think I'll just waste one of those on him. So it's still giving plus 500 stats total because it's on HP, but I don't think it's going to be quite as potent in battle because it does factor in attack stat as the main thing, and then the HP and defense are a little bit... you know, less impactful. So not quite optimal, but I think it is still good enough. So yeah, that is a good example of this. I won't bother doing all of the different equipment on camera here. I am going to go and do that stuff later. But as you can see, there are quite a few characters here that I do need to go and mess with their equipment and stuff. So yeah, I think that about does it. Is there anything else that I'd want to prepare you guys for here? Let me see. Oh, so we didn't really go over the rest of the units. Let me go... Okay, let's switch back to the other display really quick. Okay, so I just really quickly did want to go over. We talked about a lot of the free-to-play units on here. Now, this LR Kaioken Goku, he is a yellow coin LR. So, it's kind of like if you have him, you have him. If you don't, you don't. There's not really much that you're going to be able to... You know, there's not really much. You can't go, like, farm this guy up or anything. Same with this Kaioken Goku. He's just a banner unit. And then I believe this guy is actually a World Tournament reward card. If you competed in the last World Tournament, I believe he was a reward card for the last World Tournament. This guy right here, this Kaioken Goku. So if you were proficient in previous celebrations, then you should be rewarded here, and you would have this guy. And then I believe this is a World Tournament reward card that has not been recently available. Yeah, so that's it for the super side of things. And then on the extreme side of things, it looks like we've got a Dokkan Fest. Again, Dokkan Fest that's not available on global. A banner unit. So this guy could be, a feasible option. I actually don't have the SSR for the Great Ape Turles, unfortunately. Luckily, I do have the one for the Int Turles, another banner unit here. Oh, and this actually was a unit, the Team Turles, the Yellow Coin LR. I didn't add them to my list, but, potentially if I don't get those extra 3 units that I was hoping to get, then I will just add the LR Team Turles to have an additional unit on my roster there. And then obviously his TUR and SSR are available here as well. So yeah, that's pretty much all you can do. This is kind of a really bad example of of what I wanted to do with these chain battle prep videos. It just so happens that the character roster is like kind of restricted, for this video, so I wasn't able to show you quite as many things that I wanted to, but maybe we'll have a better, I'll give you a better example of what I want these videos to be on the next chain battle, where hopefully there's like more options for lineups, right? Because it is kind of baffling to me that there is this few characters here, and I feel like usually it's pretty obvious that every player is going to be able to have like the full 10 characters on the lineup. But yeah, it is pretty surprising that, especially on the extreme side of things, right? It is pretty close knit, and there are a lot of players who are probably not even going to be able to have 10 characters total out of this. So yeah, hopefully that is a good heads up for you guys, and what to start farming for. That way we are not poo-hooing on day 1 of this chain battle releasing, and everyone being like, oh, it's the whale game mode, and if you don't whale out for all the SSRs of all the cards, then you don't do well. Well, there's a lot of free-to-play stuff to go around here, so, farm it up. Get it ready ahead of time. Min-max these characters. Throw your extra hidden potential orbs on. I know there's a lot of seasoned players at this point who have only been playing the game for maybe like 2 or 3 years, and so they've been able to farm up a ton of hidden potential orbs, more than they could ever use on the amount of characters that they have in their box, right? So you may as well throw some of those extra resources that are sitting into, some of these extra free-to-play copies and stuff, because it will help you out a lot in these game modes. I promise. Oh, actually, there's one other thing. There's one other tip that I can give you here that I wanted to point out. Let me show you this. So, one other thing to consider is, so you do, for chain battle, you do want your, you do want your friend supporters to be as best as possible. But the reason for that is because that way, other people's lineups that are going to be, that are going to be using your character lineups, when other people are using your character lineups, you're getting extra emblems of cooperation from them using your, your friend supporters. So the big thing to note here is that if they are not on your friends list, they can't send you nices to give you additional emblems of cooperation. They can only send you friend requests. So something really, really important to do when a chain battle is upon us, if you're someone like me that keeps a lot of empty spots in your friends list, you're going to want to make sure to max that out. So, so starting now, it's probably a good idea, or, well, for JP players, where the chain battle is actually coming up in a few days, it's smart to go ahead and max out your friends list, because if you have 100 out of 100 friends, then that is the maximum number of people that can potentially use your friend supporters. Whereas if you're down all the way in like the 40s or the 30s, right, there's a lot less people that can take advantage of seeing your friend supporters on their friends list and being suggested your friend supporters. And then you're only going to be having your friend supporters suggested to people as a guest on their friends list if you happen to be like around the similar power ranking and stuff. But yeah, so making sure to max out your friends list before a chain battle is a good way to maximize those emblems of cooperation that you have. So yeah, if you are ready ahead of time and you've got all these characters grinded up and you're good to go, then that means the very minute that the chain battle starts, when when everyone else is potentially finding out what characters are good for the chain battle and trying to spend the next 24 to 48 hours figuring out the best ways to build their support lineups. Yours are already done. You'll be able to throw a banger support line in minute 1 of chain battle, and you'll start popping off with those emblems of cooperations from those Nices received. They just start flowing in like fire. And this happens to me on every chain battle that I'm proactive with. And then when I wake up the next day after the very first night of chain battle, I notice that I've already got hundreds and hundreds of the emblems sitting in my gift box because people sent me so many Nices overnight and stuff. So yeah, taking advantage of those first moments of chain battle can be a really good idea too. So hopefully you guys found some useful tips and tricks in this video along with me. If not, then I apologize. But I think that was about all the information that I could think to give you for the upcoming chain battle here. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe on the video. That is going to do it for this one, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.